All right, we are live. Hi, everyone. I'm Dawn Loading, realtor with eXp Realty, with my friend Amy Oler here from Cornerstone Mortgage and Big Life Loans, right?
Or Big Live Home Loan Group.
Home loans, awesome. I love your branding so much. So it's awesome. And you have been just great to work with. So
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you coming on here with me monthly. So for those of you who have not been following, every week on Wednesdays, I do an interview with either a lender, somebody that could help you with your financial freedom. Times are hard right now and it's real. And so I'm bringing on experts so that I could build a library and offer the help to all of my real estate clients. Just decided to share it with everybody though. So this is my trusted lender, Amy. And today we're going to talk about the pre-app interview. And I love this title, Amy. Make sure that the lender you're working with is a good fit before applying and why. Like, let's educate people on how important it is to get with your lender first so that you know what you're doing.
Yes. So thank you for having me again. I love that we're putting information out there to individuals that probably wouldn't get it from any other source, or maybe even get misinformation that is so prominent out there.
As we just discovered.
Yes. And what's crazy is right before I jumped on here, I did speak with an individual who as a veteran, and he was working with a mortgage company that only did VA loans. And although a VA loan, it wasn't something he could explore at this moment, there were other options and other opportunities. So he really felt defeated. And so it's like you almost have to have this little interview process. And I think it's always funny after being in the industry so long how there seems to be interview processes for every other position other than lenders. It's like people go ahead and commit with application first, and they don't even know what they're committing to.
I agree.
So, yes, I believe everybody should have a conversation with that referred lender or that lender that they found online or whatever first, and just make sure that it is the right lender for them. I mean, not just about product and what they have available to them, but how do they communicate and how do they articulate and what are the next steps and what should the client even expect. So yeah, I think it's important. Our pre-app interviews kind of go like this. It's where I listen to the potential buyer to find out what are their goals.
Yeah, I was going to
What's
say
their
it
time frame?
starts with the goals. Like that,
Yes.
one of my other guest speakers is Amber. She's with the Credit Couple, and we're talking about budgeting and building wealth through taking care of your money every month. And our very first one, and same with you, was all on what are your goals? Because all of our goals are different. Is
Yes.
this your forever home? Are you a vet? Is this an investment property? Like, there's so many different things to take into account. Just like as a realtor, I like to sit down across the table with the clients and have that interview.
Yeah.
What are your goals? What is this for? Like, and some agents just go out there and start showing not knowing, and that just, I think it's backwards. And so and it just leaves room for error. So I love that you do this with our clients.
Well, you have to ask the right questions, right? Because I think when people go immediately to application and they fill it out what they think we as the lender want them to fill it out. Like a lot of people, believe it or not, think they need to put 20% down. They think they need to do a VA loan. They think they need something. But what we do through the pre-app conversation process is figure out, okay, well, what do they really want, and what options would be available to them. And we certainly don't expect them to know all of the financing strategies available. That's our job. And so yeah, I think having that pre-app interview not only helps you figure out if this is the right lender for you, But it also kind of answers a lot of questions that you may not even know that you have. And I know that a lot of people, whether they're first time home buyers or on to their third, fourth, fifth primary residence or an avid investor, they don't know everything. They don't stay current on what's going on in the market or what programs are available. They assume a lot of things. So what we're here to do is just educate them and help them figure out through a conversation, is the next step actually application, or do they need to get their ducks in a row? They just need to know. They just need some preparation.
And I have clients all the time that are nervous. Like they don't want to do that. They put off buying a home because of the process. Because how intimidating is that to say when they hear the real estate agent say, "Are you pre-approved?" But the thing is, they're not being educated on this process. And the process, I like to sit down and have a conversation with the buyer and say, okay, this is where we start and this is what it looks like. I have a document in my buyer folder that's called the process. And the first thing is choose your lender and choose your realtor. And this is very important because these are all of the next steps in this process. And when you hit apply now for a loan, I want you to be confident and I want you to be comfortable and I want it to feel exciting. I don't want it to feel like you are giving away your baby, like doing something scary, and that's what so many people think is like, it's just, oh my gosh, I'm giving away my firstborn. Like,
Well, it is scary because
scary, but
people feel like
it
they're,
doesn't have to be.
well, but they feel like, I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
I mean, they feel like they're like taking their clothes off. I mean, it's
Exactly,
very intrusive and very revealing and nerve-wracking. It is, honestly, it is for me.
It is.
I have that hesitation in applying because you feel judged. What I can say that is different when you do talk to me or a lender like me who is good with communication and relationship building is that I think I shared before that, I haven't always had the best credit history. I have experienced financial mismanagement. And the thing that I like to do is when I have a conversation with a client or potential client, because I never assume that they're with me, I want to earn their respect and business and trust.
Yeah.
But the way I do it is wherever they are, whether they're a first-time home buyer, I remember those feelings and I share with them my insecurities at that time. If they've had some credit issues, I share with them my challenges and how hard that was, but some of the things that I should have done and what I learned along the way. And that instance, that didn't define me. That was just a time in my life, but that didn't define who I was. And I had to do these things to get me to the point where I could start reinvesting. So I kind of meet people where they are. If they're avid investors, I can speak to that too, because I too have been avid investor. And this is the market I'm watching, and this is the things that I'm doing, but what do they want to do? So it's really, I think, just meeting the person where they're at and listening to them. Now, some people don't know how to I don't know where to begin, Amy. So then I can help them with questions, kind of get them through and navigate through that conversation. So you don't have to come in with all the questions and all the answers. That's part of that pre-app interview.
You're going to guide them through that process.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. So how's the best way for anyone, because I'm going to be sending this video out to quite a large audience in my database of people who have been interested in buying a home in the past 5 years. I've been building that and building it. So if you're on that list and you're seeing this, how do I have them reach out to you?
I think the best way to do it is through an email introduction. And let me tell you why. I am a lender. So if you give me their contact information and then I reach out to them via email or whatever, I may get blocked by spam. So
Yeah.
what I like to do is I like the email introduction, because if they have been working with you, say they've met with you face to face, they've spent a few hours with you, when you contact me and say, hey, I spoke with Peggy Sue and, here's her contact information. If I call Peggy Sue right after having a 2 to 3 hour or whatever time with you, Peggy Sue is now thinking, oh my gosh, I'm behind on work. I've got to answer emails, or I've got these other activities. And I don't want to then come right after you and then have and assume that Peggy Sue's
Yeah.
ready to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I'd like to be very respectful with time.
Reach out to me first or one of my agents if you're working with one of them.
Yeah.
And then we will connect you with Amy so that you can have that conversation with her.
Yeah, because
And
I like to schedule it and I schedule everything through Calendly. And the reason for that, and I do have evening appointments and even weekend openings. So a lot of my clients and yours, they want to grab their partner, their spouse.
yeah,
They want to be on that call together. Sometimes they have a parent. Sometimes they want the realtor
yeah,
on the call
definitely.
too.
Love
So
Calendly.
yeah, we try to accommodate that through Calendly.
Perfect. Okay, so I will actually go find that link and actually, no, if you're getting this and you would like to speak with Amy, reach out to me directly and then I will do that introduction and we will get you started. So that brings me to my next question, which isn't really about the process, but about the market. So, right, I know we've had this conversation before and it's so distraught with everything that's in the news. People are hearing, about the market and it's doom and gloom. And it's starting to pick back up because this is just the normal. Like I've been a real estate agent for 20 over, I'm not going to say any more years from this point forward. I'm just going to start saying over 20 years. But I've seen the ups and the downs. But the one consistent thing that I have seen is the value of properties rise.
Yes.
So that is where you need to keep what you need to keep in mind. So any advice, like, is this what's your most common question that you're asked by your clients?
Well, I mean, I think interest rate is on the top of everyone's mind, right? I mean, although as an investor, I do chuckle at it, but it would be irresponsible for me not to believe that that is on the top of everybody's mind,
Yes.
because that's what we're being force fed through the media and everything else.
Yeah.
Um, I I just want to tell you that I get it. I mean, there are some people that this market is not for them. They every time the interest rate goes up a quarter point, I mean, it does knock out like 3 million potential buyers in the country. It really does. It is a thing. But what I think you need to do is be in a ready position.
Yeah.
Now, for those that can jump in the market now, I think the opportunity is phenomenal
I agree
because
100%. I even told my son buy. He's like, "Mom, I don't think this is a good time to buy. The interest rate is so high." And I said, "Well, what do you think the interest rate is on a rental, Jared?" And he
yeah,
like kind of looked at me and I'm like, "It's 100%." So
yes,
at least right now, I will tell you guys, like a year ago, we could not get people into properties. We were losing buyers left and right. They were changing their mind and going to rentals because they were one of multiple offers and they lost out every time to a cash buyer. Couldn't get them in a home. It was we would get calls and are you cash or do you have a loan? Is your loan conventional or is it VA or FHA? Like
yeah.
we had these questions because we knew we'd have to take them to a new build or whatever. We have a strategy for every situation. So I'm not saying it's, ever a bad time. We just have to go at the process with a strategy according to what your qualifications are. And
Well, and to
so,
simplify it, the only con in this market right
yeah,
now is the higher interest rate in
yes,
comparison to what it was.
love
That's
it.
the only con.
That's the
But
only one.
your mortgage is not a 30-year death sentence. So
Exactly.
refinance opportunity is coming. We don't know when. We don't have that crystal ball, but depending on which economist you follow, we feel very strongly that within 12 to 18 months, you're going to find yourself in a refinance opportunity.
Awesome. Love it.
We want to get you ready.
Yay, let's get you ready. Call us, message, email, and let's get you into a home in 2023.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy, for being my
Oh, I
guest
love it.
today.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.